I was studying for the class and it was throwing me. And I found out that we had a K-12 textbook library in our library. So I went and found the high school textbook for discrete math. And I sat with the high school textbook and the college textbook, and I'd read it in the college textbook, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then I'd read it in the high school textbook. Okay, now I got it. And then actually I got in trouble. I got like fined this huge fee because I had the book out for the whole semester. But we don't have to do that anymore. Things like Khan Academy to explain it to a K-12 audience and then pull it back in to practice it or make those connections is available to us. So what I want you to do is we're going to have, each table is going to have an issue. Okay? The other thing I want you to think about, and this would be what I think is a general problem with tutoring students in general. How many times when you're tutoring a student, do you have a student come in who says, I'm really having a problem, but I can't explain to you what I don't understand? Have you ever had that happen? Where they're like, I'm just lost. I'm overwhelmed. It's over, right? And then you say, well, tell me what problems you're having. Nope, I don't even know where to begin. And so also think about how technology could help a student explain the problem they're having. So I'm going to split you up into the 4 tables. And this table, your problem I want you to think about is students are disorganized and can't keep track of when things are due. I want this table here to think of students have difficulty breaking down problems into small bites that they can manage. For this table over here, I would like you to think about students can't budget their time in order to, let me fix this so I can see my actual slide. Just slide on me, here we go. Students can't budget their time to complete their tasks. So students can't budget their time to complete their tasks. And in this final group over here, students have not been taught to take notes or can't figure out how to take notes for a college level class. So I'm going to recap here since I kind of surprised you with that. Students are disorganized and don't know when things are due. Students have difficulty breaking down large projects into their components. Students can't budget their time to complete tasks. And then students have not been taught to take notes or can't figure out how to take college level notes. Okay? So what I'm going to have you guys do is talk amongst your group and just take out a piece of paper and brainstorm. And when I say brainstorm, I seriously mean this. Like even if it's like a wild idea, like don't limit it out and say, okay, that's crazy. You know, like let's do that. Right? And so just kind of take a couple minutes to brainstorm. I'm going to get my technology working and we're going to be good to go. Tell me what to do. I think if I put an iPad on here, okay? Do you need it? No, I have one. Where's my bag? Right here. Sorry.
No, graciously assuming us.
No, we're all good. So how's your day? I'm very good. Okay. Can you turn the Alamo for me? This thing. And in worst case scenario, a van will You are wonderful. Not an issue.
I've never
ways you can identify multiple parts, so you can like envision
I know some people.
what parts you have, what parts you need to do.
I know some people are absolutely do it.
Secular parts.
No worries.
Take it all, look at it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. That's even up here.
Some people do that.
Thank you.
I wouldn't even really
Actually, for my class,
Go practice your results.
have like a VBA code to do this.
Is there anything else we haven't done?
Sometimes
No. Okay. I'm just making sure.
so it's pretty clear in VBA, like you can write it down.
I'm going to give you some reference again.
Factorial, and then something else that uses a factorial.
I'm just in the rest.
Like write the factorial code, the other code that called or uses that, instead of having to try to write the factorial code with everything else, breaking it apart is much easier to use. At least it's going to be difficult to communicate.
Let's see, I guess maybe she asked me a question and I was more bright. So I have to know how to break it down into small pieces. Yeah, I can like how do I write it? Yeah, and I do end it.
You done? You really got one idea?
No, we got 3. We got
Okay.
The headings, there's like,
Alright.
and then it's like,
Doesn't know.
there's like, oh, this,
Write it
this
down.
is into well, especially like, this is wrong.
I'm sure I got a whole bunch of apps.
Yeah, there are.
Where's the head?
That's why it's important. question. I just have
Good question, we're supposed to do this like in the context of what kind of technology we can use to help.
Yeah, and so think about what they could use in the action center, but also maybe what you can challenge them to use. Because generally, I mean, your ideal situation is a chronic attendee, like, right? You know, like something that, not many, like, you have kind of two groups. You have ones that come once, and like, that was cool, thanks for the tip, I won't be back again. And then there's ones that are coming regularly, so thinking about how you can use that technology to empower them to be a little bit more responsible to their property. Okay, so do you have some ideas?
Sounds like, what do you know, what do we know, and what do we want? That's kind of, so now we have to get into technology.
Okay, great, so then talk about that a little bit. So how about you guys? Do you have some ideas? Okay. Yeah.
I guess they can just like the word problems are here.
And yours was the one about managing projects?
Then they like start ordering around it.
Okay. So then also think about, also being aware of their time. That's another thing.
All or nothing or like the last is sitting at the front.
That would be really nice having, if you could break it apart like an outline or something, and then be able to move the pieces around where needed.
Do they answer it honestly and reflexively or something?
Like there's like share all the way. Like just sort of write everything down and just plan it out.
Why didn't you know about that? I'm going to show you an app. I actually have it running right now. We've been presenting for 2 minutes before this day.
So, think about coding, like I just said, find similar or simpler
How
examples.
about you guys coming up with
There's like coding, you know what I mean? Like I use a lot of MATLAB. It's tough to code, right? And so like if I'm trying to do something, I don't know how to do it. You can like go, like say I don't understand like how something works, like inside the code. I can go online and find out like how they use it and like use those examples to apply to what I want. So it's like similar, but I'm trying to reapply to what I want.
You need to be able to record the lecture. So my graduate student came to me and said, oh, I'm really uncomfortable with the student recording me. And I'm like, we're in an iPad program. They've been recording me all year. Don't kid yourself. I mean, it's a nice thing to
Specifically if they
do,
have like a
but it
problem,
wouldn't
we
necessarily
break it
be
down
have
into
to.
small,
I think
distinguish.
that's what I would do. I mean, honestly, like, okay, there's two sides to that. And I'm saying this as a professor. I'm a pretty easygoing professor, and I have the acknowledgement that I may say something stupid. And, you know, there's the difference between recording for your own studying and recording to catch a professor. You know, like if a professor's saying something that's, you know, discriminatory or jerky or whatever, you know, like recording them for that purpose, not cool. If you're recording for your own learning, I mean, you're paying for the tickets to the class. That's my opinion. I don't think the university has a policy on recording. But, I mean, that's what I told my graduate student. I'm like, the only difference is that she's asking to help you facilitate it because she has a learning disability. And so what the difference for her would be that if she wanted to record you, you'd say, hey, sit close to me, or I'm gonna save this seat for you, or whatever. You know, like that's the difference between having that. I think people record you all the time. In fact, I know people have recorded me all the time. Because they've come back with questions and I'm going like, yikes. Yeah. So are we all ready to have our conversation now about these different things? So, especially since I got here a little late, I know this is the last session of the day.
One thing at a time.
Anyway, so, best for last. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a couple of different things that address the different problems. Let me ask you a question. I kind of have them arranged by the different problems. And I'm going to kind of see, I'm having trouble with the computer, but I'm going to kind of show, we actually have a small enough group that I could even kind of Vanna White it a little bit if I had to. I'm like, ooh, right? However, I'm going to show you, but I'm going to stick with it, but I'm going to show you that this one app that I'm using, just to show you, is this app that is called, this is an app that is called, let me remember what it's called. It is called Toggl, T-O-G-G-L, and since I have it on the screen, I'm going to show you. T-O-G-G-L, and it's free, and it's also, you can run it on your computer. And what I did yesterday is I was working on this action project, and I kept on getting emails. Oh, it's really hard for you to see it, isn't it? Could you turn the light off? That might help. Okay, oh, and you're recording me, now it's making it worse, right? Yeah. But anyway, so I was working on this project, and if you can kind of see, let me see if I can make it be a little better. Does that make it easier or harder? It makes it harder.
Cover up the light that's shining on it.
Oh yeah, okay, so I just changed the light, hold on.
Yeah, because I think your backlight will be.
Did that help?
Yes.
There we go. Sweet. Is it better? Okay, good. So yesterday while I was working on this project, and it's under Action Project Presentation for Johnny Margaret. So I for an hour and 4 minutes, while I had set aside time to work on this project, which is kind of sad. Like, I just want to tell you, this is not the only amount of time that I spent preparing for this project. But for an hour and 4 minutes, I was working on this project, but what happened was I hadn't turned off my email. And so I decided, you know what, this is actually how I work. So I'm gonna practice for this case, this Toggle app, which sat on my computer, and then I had all the tasks that were going on, and then I just started and stopped the timer when I switched to different tasks. And so this is something we were talking over there that, and this kind of addresses your problem, that the students are asked at the Action Center how they use their time, but really, how honest are you about your time? So I spent an hour and 4 minutes, and I thought, I spent an hour and 4 minutes working on this presentation. Actually not true. I spent 7 minutes and 44 seconds working on this presentation. Oh no, actually I take that back. I had a 7-minute time span. I had 21 minutes that I was dealing with a new initiative that I kept on getting emails about. I had 8 minutes then on the action project, 25 seconds because my email pinged again, 41 seconds where I was on social media. I know. Almost a full minute on the action project, but then a minute and 10 seconds on social media, 8 minutes on that, 1 minute, 10 seconds on social media. I should say that I did a presentation to Gaylord yesterday on my use of Twitter, and so my social media was kind of going crazy. Anyway, but so after I look at all of this, what I wanted to show you is that I can go to a report, and here's my weekly report, and you can see that I spent a total of 31 minutes on this presentation when I was watching my hour, right? I spent 21 minutes on this new initiative. I spent 11 minutes on social media, and then it goes down and it tells me how that, and then I spent 25 seconds on basic communication. So this might be for a student who's like, I just can't make it happen, I just can't find the time. This you can run on a phone. So what about challenging them to do a time audit? Like, say, what is your worst day of the week? You know, like, what day is it? Like for me, I have awful meeting Wednesday. It happens once a month. I have like 4 meetings, and in fact, it's really funny. Even my personal trainer knows. He'll be like, is it awful meeting Wednesday already? Because he'll say you're off, you're kind of you kind of come in disheveled, you're just not with your game. Now that would be a really interesting day to look to see how much time I'm spending in meetings, how much time I'm checking my email, how much time am I checking my Facebook. That would be an interesting day for me to become aware. What I find from students is students say, I have no time to do that, but I see them sitting in our lounges on Facebook for like 45 minutes. And I'm not faulting that, because there are days that I'm sitting at my house for, you know, I'm playing my Bejeweled Blitz. I know that makes me old, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm sitting there playing my Facebook game, I'm sucking in the time a little bit. So a time audit could be a place to start having a conversation. And so this app is free, it's called Toggle, T-O-G-G-L, and this could help you do a time audit. But since I had that on the screen, I wanted to talk about that one first. So let's start with this group. Students are disorganized and don't know when things are due. So what were some of your ideas?
So the first thing we thought about was using Google Calendar. I know I have it like automatically on my phone because I have the Gmail app. And you put stuff in there and it pops up on your phone saying, hey, you're supposed to be doing this at this time, and you kind of remind yourself of that. And then one thing, just taking it back to, you know, taking the old school, is having a big planner and writing down all your assignments. The planner has the specific day, and you can go in and make it as detailed as you want to. And then we get different syllabi at the beginning of the semester, so you can go through all your syllabus and write down like the test dates and anything that's important to you. You have it like that. And then also another idea that came out of our group was having a study group of individuals who are pretty on task, so that can kind of keep you accountable as well to be on time with your assignments. And then the last one was finding apps that help you with organizing your time and your activities and things that you have to do. So I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of stuff out there that helps you kind of keep stuff in check.
Perfect. So I'm going to tell, do you have one that you like?
Yeah, I try to use apps and stuff, and I can't do it. So what I found really works for me, because I am not a super good time management, organizational, remembering stuff person. I actually have a planner that is like this thick, and it's the size of a full page because it has a full page devoted to every single day. And I've got so far that I color coordinate it, because like carrying around all the extra weight makes me feel like I damn well better use this planner because it's heavy. And I'm carrying it around every day.
So the one thing I want to point out to you, which is great, that is great. The part of the reason you got this job is that you're already successful in school. I just want to kind of point that out. And I'm not dogging you on that. That's a good thing. Like I was the girl. I was the girl in high school. They used to joke because I was the girl in high school who like you push the stuff in your locker and like kick it and like, oh, I got to go to class on time. Because, you know, I am just, actually they said it was like the worst thing ever. They said, you were probably the brightest person and the most disorganized of anyone. And I totally own that. Like I seriously, like, still to this day, for me, I had to go digital. So just keep in mind, one thing I just want to challenge you to keep in mind, that's a really good tactic, but if the student is already really disorganized, that is like, you know, like it's kind of funny. I sometimes make the comparison. There was another student in class, her name was Jennifer Larson. Great girl, really smart. I probably was a little smarter than her. I mean, like, not like being competitive or anything, but she like recopied her notes and she was really organized. So like she really excelled above me because she was really organized. But then she would try to show me the things that she did, and I was like, I'm lucky to get to work with my keys, you know, like come on, you know, like, and so do keep in mind that we don't all learn that way, and that sometimes the novelty of a technology is what will give, like, I'll give you a perfect example. So I know it's going to surprise you that, like, you know, I like to work out, kind of. I shouldn't say like. I tolerate working out, and I got really into MyFitnessPal. Right? Where I was recording every piece of food I ate and all the exercise I did, and I got like this great satisfaction of like, oh wait, you can eat an extra 700 calories or whatever. If I went to the gym, I got really into that. And I did it for 321 days, right? And then one day, my entry didn't record. And the next day I logged in, and it said, you have logged in for 0 days. I stopped. I was externally motivated. I don't like the exercise. I don't like doing that. I was kind of getting into the whole numbers game. I'm like that girl on the treadmill who's like, one more minute and it'll be an even number. Like, that's the thing. So like when MyFitnessPal failed me, right, I was out. But the novelty of it was what got me in on something that I didn't like to do. So don't be afraid, like you can suggest this, and if it ends up making it more stressful, that's okay. But you might find a student where this piece of technology is gonna help them make the connection, and they just like to be on their phone, they like to chat, they like to take pictures, that's all good stuff. So I have just a couple things to add to yours. I'm gonna show you Trello in a minute, which is this great project management app. And I'll show you Trello because it also addresses another problem. Another one is, how many of you, okay, how far are you guys from high school? Like anybody like 1 or 2 years out? Okay, did your teachers use Remind 101 at all?
What?
Okay, so there's a website that you can use for free which is called Remind. And what Remind is it will automatically send text messages to your phone. And you subscribe for them, like you subscribe for like Sonic coupons or like coupons from a store or whatever, but it's completely free. And so what you can do is set up where you get text messages and you can schedule them in advance. So you can put that, actually I have it on my iPad, so let me find it. Okay, so here is, oh, I opened a website. Oh, I don't, do I have it? I have it. Why are we not opening? Here we go. So, sure. Not now. Okay, so I use this for my classes because I don't like Desire to Learn because Desire to Learn hates iPads. But what I want to show you is that I have no sense of where my orientation is. Okay, so what I want to show you, these are all my old classes, but I want to show you the one that I made that was called Back on Track. I was in a fitness class, and they were talking about how you had to motivate yourself. I'm going to make myself seem really like touchy-feely, but I can make my own and schedule them, and so they were saying things like, I can be #1, I'm worth it. You notice I did 3 of them, because then I thought it was lame. Anyway, but the idea is that you can set up your own text message reminder, and there's a calendar. And so what you can do is in this one, I can say I want to write a new one. And I'm going to say, you go girl. Right? Right? Doesn't that sound like what I should say? And then I can go down here and I can click send. But then there's also here where I can schedule it. And I can choose to schedule it. So what I tell like my future teachers to do is that you make one for your class as a future teacher, where you schedule when all the book reports are due, when all the final grades are due for that semester and that sort of thing, and it will automatically send a message to your students. Nothing says that a student couldn't do that for themselves. They sit down with the syllabus on the first day, they put in all the due dates, like, and maybe you talk to them a little bit about their planning skills, like for example, knowing that the paper is due an hour before the paper is due is probably not helping you. But knowing that the paper is due on the Friday before the Monday it's due might be a nice reminder. And so sit down with the syllabus and put in all these dates. Like I said, you just pull it down and schedule the dates. And then you set it up, you subscribe to it, it automatically comes to your phone. You can do this on a phone, you can do it on the web, you can do it wherever. And then you could automatically get a text message. You talked about working in a study group. This would be perfect for a study group, so that the study group as a whole takes responsibility for setting these dates, and then you get text messages. I know for a lot of you, like I know from email, the reason I've gone to this in my classes, you guys don't read email. Like email's like old people technology, right? Like it's like Facebook where your grandma is, right? 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 You like email? Well, so remember, some of these students aren't the most successful students, and so they like to be on their phone, they don't like email. So what you can do is you can push text messages to them in order to have them get a text message. And so I'm not saying you do it, you empower them to do it for themselves. So that is that.